Hello everyone, so I have come to Nottingham to visit my dad and his lovely lady friend. I've got a room in their block of flats which is like just used as a guest room. It's not the most exciting, so I won't show you the room, but in the corner of the room I've put my perfumes that I've bought to wear, and I'm here for 4 nights: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, and I'll be driving home on Monday. I got here yesterday afternoon, and yesterday for my journey down I wore Que Soya by Francesca Bianchi. It's the latest perfume in my collection. I only received it yesterday, no, I only received it 2 days ago, and I thought I'd wear it down just to start to get used to it, because it's a very, very unusual and complex fragrance. I'm finding that I only really love it after about 4 hours. The first 4 hours is quite complex. I don't dislike it, I like it, it's just I really love it after 4 hours. It becomes something smooth, gourmand, kind of vanilla, iris, suede like beauty after the 4 hours, but in the first 4 hours you get quite a lot of the notes all together at the same time, and it's hard to explain, so a full review will be coming. But that was what I wore yesterday, and I also wore that to the pub. We went down to the pub and had curry for dinner, so that was yesterday. And today I still have to choose my fragrance. I'm just going to go for a shower, so I'll be taking my Aroma Cleanse, a facial cleanser. It's a nice little travel size, so I find that quite handy for traveling. I don't use that one all the time because it foams, and I feel like anything that foams on my skin kind of dries it out a little bit, so it's okay just to use every now and then. My shower will be with Santa's Belly Shower Jelly by Lush. Let's see if I can undo it. I won't take it out of its pot just yet because it's got a little bit of liquid, and I think I can end up making a mess. The smell is a very sweet cranberry type red fruit medley. It's rather nice. And then after that I've got a travel size or a small size of the Charity Pot hand and body lotion, and I love this. It's really rich and it smells gorgeous. It's got cocoa butter in it, has a very light kind of slightly sweet, creamy, rosy, chocolatey scent, but it's really soft and lovely. So I'll be using that one after my shower. Hello, Dad.
Hello, Dad. Hello, Dad.
Hi everyone, my scent of the day today is Gallivant Los Angeles. It's a tuberose fragrance with some ethyl maltol, which is a bit like candy floss. I'm in the back of the car. We're off to a carol singing concert type thing with my lovely dad's girlfriend's grandson singing. So we're going to go and watch the kiddies singing at a carols concert. We've been to the Christmas market, which I would have just shown you some footage of. Had some lovely food, and I've been wearing this one all day, and it's a really nice kind of all season type fragrance, but it's doing very well in this cold weather. So tonight off to have a kebab with dad's girlfriend's daughter, son-in-law and 2 young boys, and because I'm going to be in the company of children, I may as well smell nice for the kids. So I've gone for a gourmand. It's pink champagne truffle by Panna London, dark chocolate, raspberry. To me it feels like a raspberry liqueur chocolate ganache covered in dark bitter chocolate and then rolled in some coconut. That's how it smells to me. So even if the kids find me weird or boring, at least I will smell like sweets. So that's a good thing, right? Gonna have some Greek food, looking forward to it very much, and smelling rather good. Oh, I have had a couple of vodkas, can you tell? Hello everyone, so I am now in a park in West Bridgeford. That's where my dad and his partner Zizzy live. They're about a quarter of a mile out of town. I've just had a little wander on my own around the shops here. Really nice shops, cafes, delis, a few pubs and bars. I found a lovely little fair trade boutique with some really lovely things. Some Himalayan salt lights that change colour I took a fancy to, but I didn't buy. And my scent of the day actually started out as nothing. So when I left the house, I forgot to put on a fragrance. That hasn't happened to me in such a long time. But luckily in my handbag was a few samples, and I had a sample that my friend Monique sent me of a Keiko Macheri's, I think it's called Roses Attar. And so I have emptied, I didn't have a lot left, so I emptied it all around here. And it's a gorgeous rose with some, it smells like a rich, fruity, modern rose with some vanilla. But there's this mysterious edge to it that could be a touch of incense or maybe some resins, but it's mostly a sweet, very fruity rose. Here's a nice doggy. It's quite a busy park here, lots of children, lots of dogs, lots of life. It's really nice. So I feel slightly self-conscious filming, but I really need to do this vlog because I want to share my little trip with you lot. So yesterday we went to a Christmas market in a place called Newark, which is about half an hour away. And my scent of the day yesterday was, it was Soleil Neige by Tom Ford. So I have a travel spray of that I got from Fragrance Samples UK, and I wore that yesterday. I really like it. It's sweet but not too sweet, white floral, nutty. Yeah, it's hard to explain really. It is in the same ballpark as Soleil Blanc, because that's also sweet and nutty, but it's not as sweet. And I really like the first 2 or 3 hours, and then I feel it's just maybe a little bit bland or generic after that. It just doesn't smell amazing enough for the price tag of £164 for 50ml. So I won't be buying a bottle, but I do really enjoy it. So I will wear what I've got in my travel spray, and maybe I'll change my mind the more I wear it. It also doesn't feel like it's quite strong enough. Again, for the price tag, it's something that has a good presence for 4 to 5 hours, and then it's quite close to the skin really, and it never is a beast or anything like that. So yeah, I'm on the fence a little bit about that one. And so last night then, so I had a shower and changed my fragrance yesterday, and then last night we went to the local Wetherspoons just for some cheap food and a couple of drinks. Then we went back to Dad and Zizzy's flat for watching a film, and the fragrance I wore was actually, it's really quite a special fragrance, and it was Chypre Palatine by MDCI. So Chypre Palatine has about 1 million notes in it, and it was made by Bertrand Duchefort. It starts out really complex, it hits you in the face with all these crazy notes, and then it's very old-fashioned smelling, quite vintage. It smells almost like there's aldehydes in there as well, but it's later in the dry down, you don't have to wait too long, it gets really rich and resinous, and the labdanum is very noticeable, and to me it becomes just a caramelized resin fest, but very sweet, but not too sweet, again not too sweet, just rich, resinous and exotic and exciting, and I absolutely love that one. So that's what I wore last night, and I'll be back with more later. Hi, so I'm back from my little jaunt around the local town. I ended up in a cafe and had some soup, leek and potato soup, and a nice coffee afterwards. And I'm now back at the room, and I thought I would just talk to you about a different fragrance I've got here, and that is a decant that was sent to me by a fragrant friend. I bought it as part of a split on one of the fragrance groups, and it's called it's a Juicy Couture. This is part of the high-end Juicy Couture range. The Juicy Couture, not a company that I've ever particularly enjoyed their fragrances. I haven't really tried them out properly, but they are all very fruity, overly sweet, very young, I feel, not really my thing. So but when I heard about this fragrance, and it's called Ombre Glistening, and I really like the sound of the notes. It didn't sound too sweet, it didn't sound too childish, and I thought I would give it a go. And I've heard some good things about it, and it's got some good reviews on Fragrantica. I'm really not quite sure what to make of it, so I've just sprayed it on my hand. And there are aspects to it I quite like. So it's quite peppery, quite woodsy. It's not very sugary and sweet. It is sweet, there's definitely sweetness in here. For a moment I thought, does it smell a little bit like Rag Bar for men? You know, Rag Bar by Lattafa, the oudi vanillic fragrance, kind of has some feels about it a bit like that. It's better than that. I don't like that fragrance at all. I think it's just the oudiness. It smells a touch Eastern, a touch either, I'm not sure if it's an oud or a patchouli or some kind of exotic woodsy notes that give it that feeling that it's more of a Middle Eastern style fragrance, kind of like Middle East meets West. So kind of exotic, peppery, woodsy, vanillic, a bit sugary but not too much, a sprinkling of sugar, and some white florals, possibly jasmine, possibly orange blossom, or a combination. It's not smelling rosy, so that's good, because rose and any kind of hint of oud puts me off generally. I love rose, but not with any ouds. Almost chocolatey. It's actually nicer than what I first thought, and I really like the pepperiness of it. I love pepper in fragrances, so this is one I'll be testing out and probably will do a review, just because it's kind of interesting. But it's not like you might expect from Juicy Couture, so in my opinion that's a good thing. Definitely loving the pepperiness of it. That's probably the best part of it. So that's really all I wanted to say for the moment. Good morning all, it's my last day here, nearly 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just going to pop in, have a coffee with Dad and Zizzy, and then I'll be packing up the last of my crap and driving back to Medway. So last night's fragrance, so last night we went out for a really nice dinner. There's a pub in this town called the Stratford Haven, I think it was, and we had a Christmas dinner and it was really, really nice. 2 courses, so I had a normal Christmas dinner. Actually it was pork belly, but all the Christmas dinner trimmings, followed by a vanilla cheesecake with cream that was really, really good. So a lovely meal, and I wore This one, Sarah Island, and it's called Crushed Velvet. This is a very kind of sharp rose, but in a really good way. So it has this metallic type feel to it, also has this mineral like feel to it. It's a really nice rose fragrance. It doesn't smell like the kind of rose smells that you get in shower gels aimed at the older generation, or body lotions or hand creams. It's not that soft, I don't know, that boring rose, or we'll just call it boring. It's a really nice rose. It's in the same ballpark as the kind of rose you get in Portrait of a Lady. It's kind of combined with that metallic mineral edge that makes it so much more modern and interesting. So a really lovely rose fragrance that I wore last night. And then today, I haven't sprayed it yet, but my fragrance for driving home is Chouette by Bido. And this one is, these fragrances are really difficult to describe, I have to tell you. They're really unusual. They're not like anything else that I've ever smelled. All of the Bidos are very unusual, but really nice and wearable. So this reminds me of, it's like a sharp, fresh orange cocktail. It's really unusual. I think there's jasmine in here. I always forget the notes. In the dry down, you do get ISOE Super. In the far dry down, you will recognise ISOE Super, but you don't get it for quite a long time. To start with, it's a kind of woody, orange jasmine, orange flower, fresh but deep and kind of resinous at the same time. Just pure unusuality, but I really like it. It's very wearable. So Chouette by Bido is my fragrance of the day. Let's get some in my hair. Let's get extra. Let's be extra. So off to have a coffee, well needed coffee.